Hello, my name is Jordan Middleton. For this week's reading log, over the Coretta Scott King Award, I chose the book What is Given from the Heart by Patricia McKissick. Here is a picture of the cover. The illustrator is April Harrison. This book was the last book that Patricia wrote before she passed away in 2017. What is Given from the Heart received the Coretta Scott King Book Award and the John Steptoe Award for New Talent, specifically in illustration, in the year 2020. I really enjoyed reading this book as it showed the importance of helping others. Children will learn from this book that everyone goes through hard times and it's important to stick together, and you can depend on your community. The moral of this story, or the lesson of the story, is when you give something from your heart, it will fill another person's heart. It is important to help others and be generous regardless of what we have. I personally can relate to this book, as when I was in middle school, I was a part of a club called the Builders Club, and every year for Christmas, we would adopt a family in need. A few weekends before Christmas, we would go up as a group and shop from the list of what the family was in need of. Although we weren't able to specifically give it to the family, we knew the good that we were doing, and we were able to brighten their Christmas spirit. I'm going to share a short summary over the book. The story is about a little boy named James Otis and his mom. In one April, his father went to sleep on the porch and never woke up. This led Mama and James to go further into poverty. A few months after James's dad passed away, the mom and James lost their farm and had to move into a little shotgun community. It seemed that nothing can go right for the two. On Friday the 13th, their dog ran away, and it rained so much that their house had flooded. One of the quotes that Mama said while she was sweeping away the water from the porch was, "As long as we have our health and strength, we are blessed, James Otis." February has arrived a few months later, and they were at church on Sunday, and the Reverend announced that love boxes will be donated to someone in need. For this year's love box, there was a little girl and a mom who had lost everything in a fire. The Reverend told the people that, remember, what comes from the heart reaches the heart. Even though James and his mama didn't have much, his mom insisted that they help out. James wasn't sure what he could give to the little girl named Sarah, as she was 2 years younger than him, and she wouldn't enjoy the same things that he did. He thought about it all night and woke up the next morning and found his mom sewing up an apron that she was making from the nicest tablecloth that they had. Although he didn't understand, his mom said that she hopes that Miss Temple will enjoy the apron as much as she enjoyed the tablecloth. This led James into thinking harder on what Sarah would enjoy. Although nothing seemed suitable, he ended up finding a book that meant a lot to him and decided to draw pictures for Sarah and create a book for her. As the love box was delivered in front of the congregation, Miss Temple was overcome with emotions. James introduced himself to Sarah, who still seemed upset and scared. As he gave her his gift, Sarah smiled and was excited to read the book for herself. Once they left church, it was snowing, and Mama and James were happy that they could help someone in need. When they arrived home, they saw that they had actually been, a love box had been delivered to their doorstep as well, and they were so happy. And that is the end of the book. A little bit about the book. The illustrations seem to be painted, and all the illustrations are colored in soft hued and very light colors. The illustrations come from folk art inspiration. Mama wore a dress that reached her ankles, and James wore a long sleeve shirt and brown overalls. It seems that it was a few decades ago. Yeah. The shotgun house that James and Mama moved into was painted white and in a village of other small homes. On the page about Christmas, there is a tiny tree, and Mama and James are sitting next to it. This shows that they didn't have a lot. There is snow outside the window and a rocking chair next to the tree. One of the genres of this book is African American, and the congregation is an all African American community. The plot of the book follows James through his hard times in trying to help someone in need despite of their own situations. Mama and James are the main characters that live in a loving and caring community who are willing to help anyone. For the activity I chose, it's attached on my reading log assignment. I chose to do a worksheet over the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, and why. This activity allows the students to reflect on the book and share the importance of the story. So once the students are handed their handout, they will fill in who the book is about, what they did, when they did it, where they did it, and why it is important to help others in need. And that concludes my reading log assignment.